Salaam Alaikum. Mr. Moderator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, our friends and our enemies.
Plus, these non-black Muslim people don't like you. Let's remember that first. Look at the skin. They don't like you.
She says these non-black Muslim people don't like you. Subhanallah. In an attempt to fight racism, she says something incredibly racist. That non-black Muslims don't care about black Muslims.
So in Sajid's mind, saying these non-black Muslim people don't like you is incredibly racist. So if that's an incredibly racist statement, what do you call this?
هل تتوقع احنا في الكويت ولا احنا في السعودية ولا احنا في الامارات راح نساوي عامل بنغالي بعامل مصري؟ اعوذ بالله اعوذ بالله.
Salaam Alaikum. Mr. Moderator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, our friends and our enemies.
Plus, these non-black Muslim people don't like you. Let's remember that first. Look at the skin. They don't like you.
She says these non-black Muslim people don't like you. Subhanallah. In an attempt to fight racism, she says something incredibly racist. That non-black Muslims don't care about black Muslims.
So in Sajid's mind, saying these non-black Muslim people don't like you is incredibly racist. So if that's an incredibly racist statement, what do you call this?
هل تتوقع احنا في الكويت ولا احنا في السعودية ولا احنا في الامارات راح نساوي عامل بنغالي بعامل مصري؟ اعوذ بالله اعوذ بالله.
الكهرباء قطع جوه ولا ايه؟
It is crude.
ايوه بس هو مش بيعجبه جمالي، هو بيحب النيجرز. استغفر الله.
It is offensive.
هو انا جاي البيت ده المزاجي ولا عشان احرف فيه عبيد؟
And it's ugly. In the Arab world, racist.
اعوذ بالله اعوذ بالله.
Incredibly racist. So if that's an incredibly racist statement, what do you call this?
هل تتوقع احنا في الكويت ولا احنا في السعودية ولا احنا في الامارات راح نساوي عامل بنغالي بعامل مصري؟ اعوذ بالله اعوذ بالله.
Salaam Alaikum. Mr. Moderator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, our friends and our enemies.
Plus, these non-black Muslim people don't like you. Let's remember that first. Look at the skin. They don't like you.
She says these non-black Muslim people don't like you. Subhanallah. In an attempt to fight racism, she says something incredibly racist. That non-black Muslims don't care about black Muslims.
So in Sajid's mind, saying these non-black Muslim people don't like you is incredibly racist. So if that's an incredibly racist statement, what do you call this?
هل تتوقع احنا في الكويت ولا احنا في السعودية ولا احنا في الامارات راح نساوي عامل بنغالي بعامل مصري؟ اعوذ بالله اعوذ بالله.
الكهرباء قطع جوه ولا ايه؟
It is crude.
ايوه بس هو مش بيعجبه جمالي، هو بيحب النيجرز. استغفر الله.
It is offensive.
هو انا جاي البيت ده المزاجي ولا عشان احرف فيه عبيد؟
And it's ugly. In the Arab world, racist depictions of black people are rampant. And the use of blackface is rife. Black people are routinely cast into subservience, playing servants, prostitutes, or they're shown as straight-up objects of ridicule.
But now the strange thing is that the whole state is defending and attacking Islam and attacking our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the main thing that we believe in him. And it's making cartoons, it's making fun of him sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then they call this freedom of speech. What type of freedom of speech is this? Are these guys, I mean, are they in their normal mentality? Are these guys, do they know what they're doing? You are now doing discrimination against 1.5 billion Muslim in the world. You are abusing 6 million Muslims in France. You are abusing a lots of Muslims in the whole world. You are abusing your neighbors. You are abusing people who are living with you. How can a normal man, how can a normal human being abuse somebody in the main thing that he loves and he believes in? And actually, when you go back and see, do these people really believe in freedom of speech? You will find that that is only a big fat lie. That is a big lie. Why? Because they are not allowed to discriminate homosexuality. If you speak about homosexuality, you will go to jail in Europe, in the West. Therefore, there's no freedom of speech. If you speak about the Negroes between brackets or the black guys and discriminate them and say that they are so and so or make fun of them, you will go to jail.
وأطراف اليدين أيوة قال إلا أن تكون عجوزا أو سوداء أو نحوهما. Unless she is an old woman or black or what is, maybe he means black. That means people don't pay attention to her. But if she's a very beautiful black, that means dark-skinned woman, we don't say that she's allowed to be uncovered near people. He's talking about maybe maids or slaves in the days of slavery or stuff like that. But even dark-skinned people, near dark-skinned people, they desire each other. And there are dark-skinned women that are very beautiful to other people. So that's not actually, what the thing is to say, anyone who is, well, that's what he says here in the commentary.
This Pakistani Muslim brother of yours takes advantage of that program that was designed specifically for black people. For me, and he built his wealth based upon the program that was specifically designed for black people. And when a black Muslim brother asks him for a job, what does he tell him? Repeat it again, please.
He says that, I can't do that because if I do, I will be questioned about who and why did you hire this African-American guy?
And may Allah question him on Yom Qiyamah.
So black Muslims getting denied jobs because they're black Muslims, and black caricatures being shown on television in blackface in the Arab world, the Muslim world, as well as black imams saying that black women don't have to wear hijab because they're black. That isn't incredible racism. Me saying that these non-black Muslims who are showing us so much love by not hiring us, by putting caricatures of us, I mean, at least they're putting black people on television, right? We're the ones who are incredibly racist. Subhanallah, I didn't know. Thanks for clearing that up, Sajid.
Now, I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist at all within the Muslim community.
Yes, we know you're not saying that, Sajid. I mean, what better place to put your statement of plausible deniability? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Obviously it does, but you can't fight racism with more racism. This is why it's so important for parents to understand what's going on, what their children are being exposed to.
So what are the children of these darkies being exposed to? I don't know, but let's have a look, shall we?
Libin is relieved to be back home in Somalia. 3 years ago, he tried to migrate to Europe, but he never made it. Instead, he was kidnapped by smugglers in Libya and sold as a slave.
Like an animal, I was sold 4 times in open markets in Libya. The last time I was sold for $10,000. I was tortured every day.
Hello. আমি মনে হয় বাঁচবো না, আমি মনে হয় মরেই যাবো। আমার অনেক মারধর করছে, আমার টর্চার করতেছে, তোমরা আমারে বাঁচাও। টর্চার করতেছে, আমার অনেক মারধর করতেছে, আমারে বাঁচাও। আমার হাতের মধ্যে গরম তেল ঢাইলা দিচ্ছে। আমারে বাঁচাও তোমরা, আমারে নিয়ে যাও এখানটা। ওই বাসায় আমারে 15 দিন অন্ধকার করে আটকে রাখছে, কোনো কিছু খাইতে দেয় নাই, টর্চার করছে, মারধর করছে, নির্যাতন করছে। তারপরে ওইখান থেকে আমারে আবার আরেক জায়গায় পাঠিয়ে দিছে ওরা। আমি এই জায়গায় খুব কষ্টে আছি, আমি চোখ দিয়ে কিছুই দেখতে পাই না। আমারে নেও তোমরা, আমারে বাঁচাও। আমার মরার লাশ যদি যায় বাংলাদেশে, আমারে নেও তোমরা।
كم كله نفر ليش उधर से आगे उधर से आप नहीं गए चल क्यों नहीं बोला जब मैं उधर काम कर गया था, क्यों नहीं बोला तुम भी क्यों नहीं किया तुमने, क्यों उधर नहीं रोका काम कर, अभी क्यों बोलता करेगा, अभी थाना में जाओ। جديد هذا حمار، هذا حمار، هذا حمار، تبي يسمع كلام هذا حمار، هذا حمار. وجهنا عند الجار، تعال تعال بوليس هيك بوليس من الجار، بوليس ليش انت ما تشوف ليه؟ خساره انا بس فيزا معلومه ما في اعلان. تعال
और देखो एक आदमी भी राजी नहीं है।
पाकिस्तान يجي هنا لازم شغل،
لازم شغل हो,
لازم كتيا
10 आदमी एक साथ गाड़ी में बैठे एक आदमी तो मेरा साथ होना था और 2 आदमी पूरा 10 ही गाड़ी में बैठे। हाँ पूरा 10 आदमी गाड़ी में बैठे।
Kwa Saudi Arabia kuriani sababu nimepatikana na mfano watachukua mniokoe mniokoe mbiro ninasali peri akashali peri nikapatike.
2.8 million women work as maids in the Middle East. Many have their passports confiscated on arrival, and some find themselves trapped inside homes where they're overworked, underpaid, and physically abused. Emma Mbura is a Kenyan senator who campaigns for the rights of Kenyan women who are sent as domestic servants to the Middle East. Today, she's on her way to the hospital to visit Mary, a Kenyan maid who is badly burned in a fire at her employer's home in Jordan.
Nilipofika kwa jiko, Maria akapiga nduru, wakaamka. Mama, nini Maria? Nachomeka. Nisaidie mama. Alipotamka nilihisi kuna mtu ananipigia mateke.
For a month, no one in Jordan, not her employers or the recruitment agency, informed Mary's family of the accident until she was put on the plane home.
Now this is her.
No, the world has come to know what is happening. As a mother, as a leader, I will not stand, I will not sit and watch this kind of.
He came where I was sleeping and he told me, I want you. And I told him, no, I can't, I'm married. And he told me, you're in my house, you have to obey my roles in this house. I was feeling confused, even I was wishing I would die. It was hard. I don't want to remember it.
Thanks for joining us tonight. A group of Somali teenagers says they feared for their lives when a Minneapolis Park police officer drew his gun and detained them last week at Minnehaha Regional Park.
Video of two handcuffed teens has been viewed nearly 3 million times on Facebook, and now, for the first time, the boys are talking publicly about what happened in that park. Carol Evans' Danny Spiewak has more.
When I was at the park, I was just trying to have a good day with my friends.
Adam Gaffey wasn't shown in this Facebook video, but he was one of 4 teens placed in handcuffs by park police last week after someone called 911 on them.
They mistreated us still, and they wouldn't listen to us. I thought, it just doesn't make sense.
Before police arrived, the teens say they were targets of racist threats from a white teenager. An eyewitness described the same thing.
Was threatening these kids with a knife and coming at them with a garbage can, calling them the N-word.
But when officers responded to the disturbance, park police say one officer pointed his gun in the general direction of the Somali teens.
I was scared. I thought that would be my last day of this world.
I was scared that he was going to shoot me.
The park police chief has said officers were acting in response to the 911 caller who claimed the teens had knives and that one said he had a gun in his backpack. No weapons were found.
تعال يا حيوان انت ابوك سياره ها انت ابوك سياره ابوك سياره ها انت ابوك سياره ها انت ابوك سياره الحرام.
انا بكوني كمواطن واحب ديرتي واغار عليها لما اشوف عامل يقعد يمد ايده على السياره ويطق الجام، انت شغلتك تنظف. طبعا حد السارق في الاسلام قطع اليد، انا ما قطعت ايده ولا بقطع رزقه اوديه المخبر، اديته حق شركته، لكن انتم شعب تاخذكم العاطفه وشويه كمنجه.
They sell Africans over there in Libya. They sell men. Even 15-year-old Libyans are there in a car, they're armed. They'll come and kidnap you and they'll sell you for $70 to $150. And then others will resell you.
As soon as you arrive in Libya, the first thing that happens is that you are taken away and sold. Our black brothers from West Africa, wherever you are from, a Malian, a Senegalese, or any other nationality from the West, even an Ivorian, you are sold. And for what? $700.
So, brothers and sisters, just remember, whether you're getting the brown beaten off of you in an Arab country, or you're being sold into slavery in Libya, or your wife is being raped by her Muslim kafir, don't ever say that these non-black Muslims don't care about us black Muslims. Subhanallah, that would be racist, incredibly racist. And you can't fight racism with more racism, but rather always remember that in Islam, the Muslims are brothers to one another. Bye. Salaam Alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You guys, can you hear me? Just hit me with a number 1 if y'all can hear me tonight, inshallah. It is the Saturday night smoke show. We started off with a bang. Hit me with a number 1 if y'all can hear me, inshallah. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. We got a hell of a lot of haters up in here. That video that you just saw, right? Can y'all hear me? I'm not seeing no number 1s. Hit me with number 1 if y'all can hear me. Are y'all hearing me? Hit me with number 1 if you can hear me, y'all. How's the sound? Salaam Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Is everybody hearing me okay? Let me keep talking. I don't see no number ones. Are you guys awake or what? Is it too late for y'all? What's going on, man? Is everybody okay? Hit me with number one if you can hear me. Who is it here with me right now? One's in the chat if you can hear me, please. One's in the chat if you can hear me. Is anybody there with me? Are we connected or what? What's going on? Oh, thank you, Amir. Okay, jazakallah khair. All right. Please like, please subscribe, please share, please hit me up on Patreon. As you know, we got a hell of a lot of haters up in here. I'm sure we just earned a lot more with that video. For those of you who don't know, that video has been on my Patreon for about almost a year, right? I put it on my Patreon specifically, because I don't want too much trouble. Okay. Basically, contrary to popular belief, I'm not somebody who likes to do refutations, but I know how to do them. Unlike most of your YouTubian elite. And all they do is kind of, have you running around red herrings and straw man arguments and all kind of nonsense. I kind of stick to the point and get right down to the nitty gritty. So that video was done all the way last year, and it was left only for my Patreons, right? And we just gave you a sneak preview right now of what's happening on the Patreon, okay? And that's the kind of stuff that I put on the Patreon, right? Like that, like these type of things, right? Things that are like way too hot for YouTube because it just all the trolls and the the zaddy lovers and whatnot. They'll come all over my channel and start spamming my stuff, right? And we don't really care about that. I mean, it's good for the algorithm, I guess, when they come with their hate and their, oh, Sag and Saddy, when they come with that nonsense, whatever, man, whatever. We really don't care. Huck is huck. Truth is truth. So, anyways. Tonight, we are returning to that subject because of all that is going on with the aim for the alt-right conference. Y'all hearing me? The aim for the alt-right conference. And people putting out on their social media how us Negroes need to be Muslim first, not black first. Just the black folk need to be Muslim first, not black first. Nobody else need to be Muslim first, not black first, or whatever first. You don't see nobody running to the Pakistani talking about you got to be Muslim first, not Pakistani first. You don't find the Bengalis talking about Muslim first, not Bengali first. The Egyptians talk Muslim first, Muslim first, not Egyptian. That language is for you specifically. You get me? Family, for 1400 plus years, Allah Azza wa Jal, He has blessed human beings by preserving the Quran and preserving the Sunnah and gifting it to mankind, correct? And for 1400 years, from the preservation of Allah's book, He says, "O humanity, indeed, we created you from a male and a female, and made you into peoples and tribes, so that you may know one another, or to get to know one another." Correct? Surely the most noble, Ya Rab, in the sight of Allah is the one who is most righteous among you. And Allah is truly all knowing and all aware. Not to mention that the Prophet, sallallahu alhamdulillah, Allah sent the best of human beings, okay, to ever set foot on the planet Earth, Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu, and in his very last khutbah, he made it very clear that there is no superiority of the white over the black or the Arab over the non-Arab except through taqwa. He made this a point to mention. He could have said something about the Lawat, the Komolut. He could have said something like that, right? He could have talked about that. He could have talked about anything. But the one thing he made sure that he was telling his people before he left, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is that he made it a point to say that there is no superiority over the white over the black or the Arab over the non-Arab. He made this a specific pointed point, okay? Not to mention that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, he told his people that obey your leaders even if he is a black Ethiopian with a head like a raisin. Family, when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu made this statement, was he talking to black people? Black people don't have any issue. Never, his story had any issues following their leaders. Okay? Who do you know today that make it a point to make sure that black people will never, ever, ever, ever see any type of independence or power to the point where the majority have to bow down to a black leader? Who you know like this? So 1400 years we've had this message. Okay? And the last 500 years we've had a steady dose of absolute domination from white supremacy. So much so that the people who have exited their continent in order to enrich the people within their continent, enslaving the darker skinned people of the earth based upon their darker skin, mind you, making an entire, not just a legal system, but a religious system, which explicitly stated that black people were meant to be the slaves of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the three sons of Noah. The sons of Canaan were meant to be the slaves of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the three sons of Noah. Y'all hearing me? But yet, what we have are Muslims, once again, telling you, black people, that you, not the white supremacist, not the immigrant Arab who comes and gentrifies black wealth, brings it to their communities, builds their communities off of black wealth, okay, and puts their people as leaders in their masajid, not them. Who needs to be Muslim first? Who? Black people. So I want to refer you to this tweet of the brother he made me aware of. Okay, like, subscribe, share, hit me up with Patreon. Let me share this with y'all. You guys think this is jokes? So this tweet comes from this brother, Project Magenta. I don't know this brother. I don't do Twitter. Okay, I don't do Twitter. Even his Twitter is quite small. But anyways, the timing of this tweet is very convenient. Put it that way. Okay. So here, Project Magenta, he says, "You are Muslim first and black second, akhi. Subhanallah. Any of this sound familiar?" That's why I showed you that video from Sajid, because that video from Sajid went viral. My reputation on Sajid didn't, because I kept it on the wraps. I wasn't trying to get too much trouble, all right? But his video went viral. We responded to him. But that video that's on the Patreon, that's the fire video. That is a nuclear video. That's the you need to sit down and shut up video. That's the video that the Muslims wouldn't be able to take, because it's a mirror in front of you. The one who has tribalism, nationalism, and racism is not from us. Leave those American race obsessions and the vices of race politics behind. What is the vice of race politics? Let me tell you something. When Daniel Hikikuchu, okay, he's talking about George Floyd, talking about how he died, how he's a drug addict, died of a fentanyl overdose, and he watching the same 9 minutes of Derek Chauvin with his knee on his neck. They didn't say anything about that. Look through his channel. Look through anybody's channel that talks about how black people need to be black first or Muslim first, not black first. Find their work against white supremacy. You will not find it. And even if they did talk about it, it would be something so arbitrary and so rudimentary that their only reason why they're saying it is for plausible deniability, so that they can say they said something about it. Because really, they themselves are, in fact, low-key white supremacists. They are okay with racism. You get it? The only people that talk to you like that, black people, is somebody who's already racist, got racist tendencies. They already practicing it already, okay? Or some outlandish buck dancing, break dancing, booty dancing coon who is okay to put any black issue on the back burner so that we can fight for Palestine, fight for the Uyghurs, fight for Syria, fight for Iraq, fight for the Rohingya, fight for everybody else except for himself. Y'all hearing me? Those are the only types of people that would tell you you need to be Muslim first, not black first. The amount of racism that is practiced by Muslims that doesn't even get addressed. Let me go back to this imam here. Okay. Let's go back to him, because y'all think I'm tripping. I know a lot of y'all think I'm tripping a lot of the time. You think I'm talking crazy, but until I show you the proof, then what you gotta say? Let's go back to this imam here, Hassan Katani. Okay, let's go back to him. Black people have always taken up the cause for every other people group. I can't think of a single time when there was a cause for the Muslims that me and myself, I didn't take it up. But ask these same Muslim brothers of yours to return the favor, and they will forever tell you be Muslim first, not black first. Let me explain to you something, okay? When Allah revealed Islam for all of mankind, did he exclude black people? I'm asking a question here. Did he exclude black people when he was revealing Islam to all mankind? The answer is no. The answer is no. But these people are excluding you specifically. They don't do this to anybody else. They are trying to kick you out. You get it? They want you to keep doing security, mopping floors, and cleaning their toilets in the masjid. While the entire, administration of the masjid is Pakistani. Shaved beards, everything. You name it. If we are Muslim first and not black first, no problem. Okay, let we be Muslim first. Why don't you let the Negroes run the masjid for a month? Or why don't you train the Negroes to run the masjid? Train like one or two of them. No, you won't do it. We're the Muslim. No, you got to train the black folk how to hold a mop and wear rubber gloves and plunge a toilet. You get it? But anyways, this is the language that they using now. You know why? Because of people like Sajid. That's where they learn it from. And this Muslim first, black first, again, this has been going on for years. But you cannot run that old time stuff on us anymore. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work. We know, you see, black people, let me tell y'all something. Okay? You are talking about people, okay, who will be on code with even shirk. Even shirk they'll be on code with. Y'all don't believe me. Y'all think I'm tripping. I'm not tripping. I am not tripping. Okay? These people are insulting your intelligence because you are the newest group to kind of accept Islam on a large scale. The Western black folk. Islam has never been an ethnicity, ever. But now, because they're looking for allies to fight Islamophobia, you know what? Just get them to define Islamophobia. Get one of these, Scooby Snack chasing, whatchamacallit, Zaddy loving biscuit chasers to define what Islamophobia is. Do you know Islamophobia? Even if you were to define Islamophobia, if you really want to get down to it, what it is a group of powerful whites who are trying to prevent the independence of a darker skinned group of people, another darker skinned group of people known as Muslims. That's all it is. It's been like that. How do you know this, Bilal? Why did Christopher Columbus try to avoid going through the Muslim empire when he's trying to get to India? Why? You get it? And that's why they try to position Islamophobia like an ethnic group. It's not about the religion Islam. Because if you're being real, okay, if you're being real in 2022, I'm just gonna ask the question. I'm just gonna put it out there, right? I want y'all to answer it for me. In 2022, by and large, are the Muslims practicing Islam in such a way that it will be some sort of threat to the West? Yes or no? Yes or no? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Are the Muslims in 2022 practicing Islam in such a way that it is threatening the West? No. No, they're not. You couldn't say that in the 90s. In the 90s, Islam was a serious threat. Many people were converting to Islam. And that's why they send their spooks and their goons to go and destroy entire Muslim communities. You get it? But now, let's go over here now. Y'all are tripping, man. You think it's jokes up in this piece. All the way last year I put that thing out. And people are now talking about Muslim first, black first. Come on, man. Give me a break, man. Let's share this screen, y'all. And anybody who want this smoke, I'm gonna leave the link in the chat. Come on down. You can get it. You can get it. You think we're messing around up in here? We're not playing. See, these guys, the enemy, they don't think like you and me, man. It's y'all who put your trust in the enemy like that. Let's share this screen. And let me play this up. Listen, y'all. Listen.
The whole states is defending, attacking Islam and attacking our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the main thing that we believe in him. And it's making cartoons, it's making fun of him sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then they call this freedom of speech. What type of freedom of speech is this? Are these guys, I mean, are they in their normal mentality? Are these guys, do they know what they're doing? You are now doing discrimination against 1.5 billion Muslim in the world. You are abusing 6 million Muslims in France. You are abusing lots of Muslims in the whole world. You are abusing your neighbors. You are abusing people who are living with you. How can a normal man, how can a normal human being abuse somebody in the main thing that he loves and he believes in? And actually, when you go back and see, do these people really believe in freedom of speech? You will find that that is only a big fat lie. That is a big lie. Why? Because they are not allowed to discriminate homosexuality. If you speak about homosexuality, you will go to jail in Europe, in the West. Therefore, there's no freedom of speech. If you speak about the Negroes, between brackets, or the black guys, and discriminate them and say that they are so-and-so or make fun of them, you will go to jail.
Family, did y'all hear what this Hassan Katani said? Sheikh Hassan Katani. Sheikh Hassan Katani. Let's rewind that, just in case you missed it. Just in case you missed it, let's rewind what he just said.
Freedom of speech. If you speak about the Negroes, between brackets, or the black guys, and discriminate them and say that they are so-and-so or make fun of them, you will go to jail.
Do I need to say anything more than this? Let him say wallahi. Wallahi, Sheikh. Let me tell y'all something. Breonna Taylor, killer. Breonna Taylor, killer. The one who killed Breonna Taylor. Did they get arrested? They get arrested. Emmett Till's killer is still running alive today. The killer, not the one, not the one that was accused of whistling at her. She is still running alive today, living her best life in her old age. Did she get arrested? Martin Luther King's killers, did they get arrested? Malcolm X killers, did they get arrested? Fred Hampton's killers, did they get arrested? Imam Jamil Al-Amin. Imam Jamil Al-Amin is sitting in jail today for not talking against the so-called Negroes, the so-called Bathos. If you speak against the so-called Negroes, you know they're going to put you in jail. The so-called Negroes. Negroes in brackets. Negroes in brackets. What's Imam Jamil Al-Amin in jail for today? For fighting for the same freedoms that you Easterners enjoy in America today. He never got to enjoy. He's a political prisoner for speaking against the white supremacist. Name one person in history, Yarab, that spoke against black people and got arrested. Donald Trump, President of the United States, what did he call black countries? What did he call them again? Somebody put it in the chat. Somebody put it in the chat. But be tasteful, please. Put it in the chat. What did Donald Trump call black countries? Thank you. Did he get arrested? Roosh went on Daniel Haqiqat's channel and totally insulted black people on his channel. Did he get arrested? These are your non-racist imams. You get it? You think I'm the one who's tripping. I'm not the one who's tripping. These are the ones that are representing Islam. Let me ask y'all something. The so-called Negroes, right? In brackets, they're not allowed to speak out in America, so they get arrested, right? Who is the largest, the quickest demographic becoming Muslim in the West? Go ahead, say it. I'll wait. I'll wait. Somebody tell me, which is the fastest demographic becoming Muslim in the West today? Does anybody know? Which has always been the fastest demographic of new Muslims. Thank you. Thank you. But according to him, Muslims are one thing and blacks are another. You get it? That's why they speak like that. They don't see you like they see themselves. They see you like visitors. You get it? They don't see you like they see yourselves. So now we have this situation. We have a situation where if a black imam talks to the Nation of Islam or gets invited by the Nation of Islam to speak on their channels or does a dinner, fundraising dinner, let's say Louis Farrakhan, right? The whole Muslim world in the West will lose its friggin' mind. They will absolutely go bonkers. They blasted Imam Siraj for this. They blasted Sheikh whatchamacallit? Sheikh Tahir Wyatt. They blasted Sheikh Tahir Wyatt for this. They blasted Imam Shadid Muhammad for saying we should reach out to the Nation of Islam. These are our people. Called them black nationalists. They won't leave us alone. But you can invite with impunity white supremacists to your channel, and not only that, have the Muslims and yourself say, oh, well, I didn't know that Islam was so compatible with white nationalism. And on top of you turn around and tell us that we need to be Muslim first, not black first. Keep your Muslim first. Keep it. We don't want it. If Muslim first means that I gotta, suck your toe and kiss your ring, you can keep it. Keep it. The ironic thing is, we have a hell of a lot of black Muslims in the West who know Islam very well. And this is the message that they need to be sending to these people. There are so many of them. I don't think there's another group with more tulab alim than the African American community, the black community. Too many. They can't even get jobs because we don't own our own masajid. Everybody else come and take over our masajid in our communities. You see how this works? Even right now, as we are speaking, AIM conference is happening. Let me get that. Somebody send me the flyer that they put out. Somebody send me that flyer. You think it's jokes up in this piece? Where are the haters? Come click the link. Defend your people, man. Where are you guys? All you guys do is run behind your comments, hide behind your comments. Like I don't see them. Hayakumullah, Jazakallah khair, brother Josh. May Allah reward you and bless you and multiply for you 1,000-fold. Ameen. Exactly. That's exactly what Muslim first mean. They don't mean it like to say you're Muslim first. Like these black people are running around practicing this black Islam. Like, where are these people? Where are these people? The only people that are practicing this exclusive Islam is y'all. And you don't call out white supremacy at all. The same system that destroys your countries. You don't call it out. Everybody say Ameen for Josh. Everybody say Ameen. Where are these people calling out white supremacy? You have a white supremacist giving in a conference right now who is not a scholar, not a Talib al-Ilm, not at anything, not even Salafi, with a bunch of Salafis giving a talk in a largely black and Latino community. Right now, you have this happening. Are y'all hearing me? Where's your Muslim first or white first there? Why don't you go ask that white supremacist? Excuse me, Daniel. Is you a Muslim first or a cracker first? Is you a Muslim first or an alt-righter first? Is you a Muslim first or a white nationalist first? Like, what is you? Are you even Salafi, Daniel? What the heck? Are you even Salafi, Daniel? Why are you asking? Why are you see these people? They are insulting your intelligence. The absolute caucasity of these people. They have no limit to their contempt and their disdain for blackness. They do not want to see you level up at all. It doesn't make a difference if it's here in the West. It doesn't make a difference if it's in the Arab world. It does not make a difference. They have an idea about you, and their idea about you is that you're only good for unclogging their sewers, cleaning their toilets, and having your woman being buffed up, banged up, and drilled. That's it. We have nothing but exploitation, and they're telling us to be Muslim first, not black first. They got some damn nerve. They got some damn nerve. Let's go back to that tweet again, shall we? Can you imagine? Let's go back to Hassan Kitani first. Can you imagine the caucasity of this man?
Rows between brackets, or the black guys, and discriminate them and say that they are so and so, or make fun of them, you will go to jail.
Where are these people going to jail for insulting black people? Where are they? In his own country, Morocco, they will show Egyptian shows. I've been to Morocco, mind you. Okay? Where black people are being absolutely demeaned. Absolutely demeaned. Right now in Morocco, there's a big scandal where the Moroccan border police murdered who knows how many Africans for trying to cross into Morocco. Murdered in Morocco. Are you hearing me? Where he is from. Scour the internet. Scour every single nook and cranny of the internet and see what Hassan Kitani has to say about that. Y'all think it's jokes. We don't play around in the features, man. See, that's why this channel, man, that's why this channel, you know what I mean? It will never be mainstream. So it's up to you guys. You guys are the marketing team for this channel, okay? It's impossible for this channel to be mainstream. Where is he had all this work for you because white people are just scared to talk about the Negroes. They're scared of it, according to him, because they'll get arrested. You know, the jails they're not filled with, almost, what is it, 50% of the prison population is black, even though black people make up 13% of the entire population of the United States. You know, he didn't talk about no convict leasing. He didn't talk about no mass incarceration. He didn't talk about no crack epidemic. You know what I mean? The American government paid for CIA operation, Iran-Contra affair, crack epidemic, government-sanctioned crack epidemic. He didn't talk about any of that. What did he talk about? If you talk about the so-called Negroes. Last year I put this video out on my Patreon. And because I was being a gentleman, because you guys think that, like I do this stuff out of like spite or hate. No, it ain't like that. If I was doing it out of spite or hate, I would have made this public last year, that time. Why am I doing it now? AIM conference. AIM conference. As simple as that. These people are making a damn fool of you Negroes. You have Daniel Hakikachu speaking in a conference with 3 of the top black scholars in the West. Daniel Hakikachu, of all people. His picture beside them and above them, of all people. Now is the time to talk, black folk. Now it is. Now it is. Where are the black people at that conference asking Daniel Hakikachu about his white supremacist stuff? All the receipts, more coming, mind you. All the receipts are on this channel. Ask about anything I put out. There are short videos or long videos. There are videos with just his statements or videos with explanations. Anything you need right here. I've made a playlist for you. Even pick a short one and just show him. That's it. That's all you really need to do. The caucasity. You got some cracker out there in New Jersey with all these Salafi sheikhs, right? Some Trump supporting, alt-right flag waving, white supremacists in the thobe, talking about prophet loot and stuff. He gonna talk to the Muslims? And who's putting him on? Yeah, these are the questions you need to ask. You need to ask these questions. Why is Kareem Abdul-Say putting him on? Like, why? Why is Sajid putting him on? Why? Why is he invited to all these Islamic channels and they know what he's about? The reason why is because those guys are about that stuff too. The word is out about Daniel, thanks to the Feachaz. Believe me, okay? As small as this channel is, the jig is up. The jig is up. Y'all need to be brave enough to stand up for yourself. You get it? All the tools you need are right here. You don't need, like, what more do you guys want? I'm putting in all the work for you. All you have to do is present it. That's it. Anyway, let's go back to this tweet here. Let's go to this Facebook post. One second, y'all. One more time from Hassan Katani. One more time, because you guys think I'm tripping.
A big lie. Why? Because they are not allowed to discriminate homosexuality. If you speak about homosexuality, you will go to jail in Europe, in the West. Therefore, there's no freedom of speech. If you speak about the Negroes, between brackets, or the black guys, and discriminate them and say that they are so-and-so, or make fun of them, you will go to jail.
How many black people died in the West for just a look? Even less than that. There was a story that came out last year. This old white woman is on her deathbed. Okay? And she was having these nightmares. And then she came out and she confessed. Because she thought she was going to hell. And, may she rot there. May she rot there. Anyways, she's telling her nurse this story. Okay? And the nurse put out this story. That when she was a little girl, she saw another young black child, okay? And she was wearing a very pretty dress, this young black girl, okay? And she got jealous. And she was with her brother, okay? The young black girl was with her brother. So she told her parents that these black children were making fun of her. And you know what happened? Do you know that these people lynched this child, her brother, her mother, and her father. An entire black family they lynched because this white supremacist in training back in those days was jealous of a young black child's dress. And he, Hassan Katani, is out here defending that. He defends that. He doesn't speak against it. Negro, be quiet. You got enough rights. What more do you want? You got a good job as a janitor. You know what? You know what Malcolm X's teacher told him? And this is why he quit school, actually. Malcolm X was a genius when he was younger. Incredibly sharp. Very smart. And anybody who listens to Malcolm X knows that this man is special. Something that's special. Incredibly intelligent. He never finished grade school. He did not finish grade school, mind you. Okay? So Malcolm X is in grade 7 or grade 8. I can't remember which grade it was. And his teacher asked him, you know, because like the teachers were like back then they're like social workers as well, or counselors, whatever, right? I mean, so what do you want to be when you grow up? And Malcolm said, you know, well, I want to be a lawyer. He's sharp. He was doing very well in school, had high grades, everything, right? You know what his teacher said? His white teacher told him. He says, Malcolm, you're a nigger, and if you become a lawyer, white people ain't gonna hire no nigger. And your own people ain't gonna hire no nigger. So why don't you do something more realistic, like become a janitor or something? And when Malcolm was told that, he dropped out of high school. He became a hustler. He became a street hustler. Then he started pimping. Right? Eventually, he got caught with some white woman that he was pimping. White woman got out scot-free. He went to jail. Daniel Hikikuchu is a type of person that if you go to jail or if you do a crime as a black person, you deserve to die. I repeat, if you do a crime as a black person, Daniel Hikikuchu will sign off on your death and not even blink an eyelash. Look what he writes about Micaiah Bryant. Look what he writes about Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor should have no drug dealer in their house. Calls Micaiah Bryant stabby girl and stuff. If Malcolm X had died at that time, he'd be saying the same thing. And what you don't know is that in the West, there has been policy. It doesn't make a difference anywhere in the West to make sure that black people get criminalized. Why is that? If you look at the States, for example, in the States, black people, y'all can answer this. In America, if you have a criminal record, can you vote? Are there states that can you vote if you have a criminal record? you are convicted of a crime or charged with a crime, do they offer you plea deals? They offer you plea deals for just being charged. You're not convicted of a crime, you're being charged of a crime. They will charge you, put you in jail, take away 2, 3, 4 years of your life for a crime you did not commit, and then offer you a plea deal. What's a plea deal? You know what a plea deal is? A plea deal is basically you're going to admit that you're guilty of this crime, and then you're not going to do any jail time. Or we're going to go to court, and you're facing up to 20 years. For somebody who can't afford a lawyer, what does this look like? It looks like a good deal. I'm gonna, basically admit to a felony I didn't commit, even though I didn't commit it because I can't afford a lawyer. And when you do that, can you get a job? Can you get a job? Yes or no? Put it in the chat, please. We have entire generations of black families from all the way to Jim Crow era who have been facing this generationally. And this man, what did he say again? What did he say again? Let's just rewind it. Hassan Katani, y'all. Sheikh Hassan Katani.
If you speak about homosexuality, you will go to jail in Europe, in the West. Therefore, there's no freedom of speech. If you speak about the Negroes, between brackets, or the black guys, and discriminate them and say that they are so-and-so, or make fun of them, you will go to jail.
Thanks for clearing that up. Thanks for clearing that up. This system is the most satanic system since Fir'aun. It's absolutely devilish. It's absolutely devilish, this system. Anybody who signs off on this system is signing off on a devilish system. And anybody who sides with the oppressor at the behest of the oppressed is not your brother. Do I have to spell it out for you? Do you want this guy? You want this guy, Hassan Katani, speaking for you, black Muslims? You want him representing you, black Muslims? Yes or no? Since we're talking about black first or Muslim first, let's talk about it. Would you like Sheikh Hassan Katani to speak for you? Yes or no? Where are the haters? Like, where are you guys? I know you watch. You can't resist this. You can't resist this. Come in the chat. Come defend your zaddies. Boy, you're only comfortable leaving a comment, like a long book for me to read in the comment section. That's all you're cool with? The hell are you guys, man? I don't know any black person who wants this buffoon representing us. But he's not the only one. He's not. You have Muhammad Gilan. You have obviously Daniel Hikikuju. You have now the Dean channel. You have now One Path Network. Even you could say to some extent, even Hamza Yusuf. He's on that alt-right tip as well. You have Blogging Theology channel. You have all these, so many YouTube channels on this red pill tip. Can you imagine, like how weird is it? Like a Muslim with an Arab or a South Asian background who's red pilling. Like what? What? Abdul Qadir Ingram. He asked first to be loud. Where were they when these populations were and are being oppressed? Right there, participating. You know, if you're talking 500 years ago, they were the ones, you know, catching black folk for zaddying them. If you're talking about in the 1930s, they're the ones who are very happy to make themselves white to lock out black people out of the economy. If you're talking about post-Civil War, they're the ones who are very happy to use affirmative action. As we had an interview with Bilal Bennett, affirmative action was a specific program specifically for black people. They're the ones who are very happy to use affirmative action to build up their communities while locking out black people at the same time. At the same time. And now we have the alt-right. And you Negroes are still talking about black Muslim first, not black first. You must be tripping. You must be tripping. Tripping. Y'all hearing me? So the advantage that we have as black people, ironically, is that Islam is present in our communities. And if we are willing to use Islam to our advantage, then I have no doubt, like anybody who reads the Quran, like just look at the story of Musa and Pharaoh. That's all you need. Look at the story of Yusuf. I have no doubt if we establish Quran and Sunnah, you know, to benefit our community. Because what happens is we let foreigners tell us what to do. We let foreigners tell us what to do. So Muhammad Fozi, you got a question. I'm confused on the red pill part. You mean self-improvement red pill or right-wing what red pill? In my humble opinion, right? Red pill for, and I said this before, it's not appropriate for Muslims from the East. It's not. It's a cultural thing. You understand? Muslims from the East, they generally have stable families. They have a stable community unit. You know, they have cultural stability. You get it? It's not appropriate for you. Red pill is appropriate for black people. Yes, I'll say that. Not all of it, of course, right? And I said this before. I said if you're talking about like black red pill or the black manosphere or something like that, like Kevin Samuels or these types, that is appropriate for black people because black people are the only matriarchal society on earth. We're the only ones where our women run our stuff. So it is appropriate. You know, we've been here in the West from the beginning, right? You understand? And the right wing red pill, of course, that right wing red pill, right? It goes with the alt right and whatnot, right? And we're not talking about that, right? And whenever you're doing something, you have to do the things that are appropriate. You have to do things that are appropriate Islamically and things that will benefit the community. What you see now is a bunch of these YouTubian elite charlatans who are trying to be what's that dude, man? The dude that got banned. What's his name? Put him in the chat, man. The dude got banned recently. They're trying to be like this guy. They're trying to put Jordan Peterson on all these completely inappropriate people introducing Muslims to that. And it's Andrew Tate. Thank you, Josh. They're trying to be like Andrew Tate and stuff. Like what? Come on, man. Get a grip. Andrew Tate? Have you guys seen some of the stuff that he says? This is Islamically appropriate? Come on, man. Get a grip. That is not how you go from widely stable family units, widely stable community units to the nature of a female. Like what? You gonna marry your cousin anyway? You gonna marry your cousin anyway? Like why do you care? Stuck for us to say it like that, but you know what I mean. Like you gonna marry somebody in your tribe anyway. You get it? You're like your family is gonna hook you up with a marriage. Like why do you care about that? You ain't out there trying to find no wife like that. You get it? Your father and your uncles are gonna hook it up for you. Black community isn't like that. You have entire generations. The mother is a single mom. The grandmother was a single mom. The great grandmother was a single mom, and the daughter is a single mom. All of them. They out here raising kids as a single mom, kicking their men out the house because the government subsidizes single motherhood in the black community. You're not going to tell me that red pill is appropriate for a situation like that? Come on, man. Get a grip. You know what I'm saying? Like it's night and day. It's like apples and oranges. No comparison. It's no comparison. You feel me? The way that Muslims navigate in the West is ridiculous. I'm sorry to say. Today I went to the masjid. Okay. Today I went to the masjid. Yeah, I know he's black. It's not a race thing with Andrew Tate, right? It's not a race thing, right? I'm talking about, when he's talking about the nature of a woman and whatnot, and body counts, and you know what I'm saying, and all this kind of stuff, and basically high value men and blah blah blah, and all this kind of. He's talking to Instagram models, and like what kind of Muslim, is talking about body counts when looking for a wife? Like what? Like you can't be serious. That's only appropriate in the black community. It's only appropriate in the black community because most of us are converts and we have this issue. We have this issue. Y'all don't have this issue. You get it? So why are you bringing it? Why are you out there calling Muslim women feminists? It's the weirdest, craziest thing. So you leave Islam, right? You leave all the Islamic stuff that is passed, even if it's passed down culturally, right? It's not pure Islam. It's like cultural stuff, right? It has Islamic elements mixed with culture. That is better than what you're doing with Red Pill. I'm sorry to say. Y'all know Dawa, man? Recently, I saw this advertisement he put out about some what's it called, better something or something the other, Better Boys Club or whatever. Like I was like, you cannot be serious, right? So Tower Man now, he's got this real, slow mo dramatic commercial for be a man, be a man, learn to be a man. Like okay, how are we gonna be a man, Dower Man? How do we do it now, man? And then Dower Man running across the sea and on a skidoo and he's in the gym doing the rope stuff, like the ropes. I'm like, Dow Man, please. You ain't got no, bro. Let me tell you something, man. I might be old, okay. I'm an old guy, right? And I might be a little bit on the chubby side, but when I go to the gym, I promise you, the majority of y'all wouldn't be lifting what I'm lifting, right? And I'm watching down, and Down Man, come on, you don't lift. Give me a break, man. You don't lift like that, man. This is all cap. It's all cap. It's a money grab, and it's to get these naive youth to buy in a program that is useless. That's the red pill hustle. Okay, that's the red pill hustle. Y'all got something good from your countries already, like with the marriage stuff and the intact family stuff and the even the tribal stuff that keeps your family units tight. Why you need rep? I don't get it. Like why? It is not making sense. It's not jiving with me. You know what I'm saying? I can definitely agree with that. Although I have to learn red pill myself because I was confused by feminism being mixed with my religion growing up, so it helped. However, I agree with you on the big picture. Yeah, you see, this is the other thing too, brother Muhammad, right? Is that the reason why you're confused by feminism is not because feminism is confusing, because really it's not, to be honest. The reason why it is because in the West, there's something called subjugation. Okay, all Western countries practice this thing. Okay, subjugation. Okay, if you are in a Western country, you are being subjugated. What's subjugation? Okay, subjugation is essentially when you have your children in a public school system for 8 hours a day. The teacher, they have a teacher, yes, the teacher is teaching their subjects, but they're also teaching what the government demands that they teach the children. You understand? So you, for 8 hours a day, are in school. Your parents are pretty much gone between, because they're not just gone for 8 hours. Your parents are working, and most parents in the West, it's two parents because that's the way that the inflation and taxes. You have to have a two-parent household working, right? So when your parents come home now, they're tired, right? Your mom is gonna make the food, right? Your dad is coming home, and he may spend maybe a half hour with you. Like even count, maybe a half hour to an hour with you a day, if that. And the majority of the time he's going to spend with you, maybe on a weekend, but he's too tired to bother you. He's probably going to be watching TV or something. You get it? So you are being indoctrinated from the time you are about four to the time you are 20. And then you're going to university to get some really high level indoctrination, right? Because you have to take humanities and whatnot, right? So 20, almost you can say about 25 years of your formative years, 20 to 25 years of your formative years, you're being indoctrinated by the government. That's called subjugation because subjugation works in 20 to 25 years brackets, right? To change the thinking of an entire generation. You understand? So they put these weird ideas in your head and they hammer it to you every day, and a part of mind control and indoctrination is to repeat something over and over and over again, even If it's not true, if you repeat it enough, people will believe it. Like with black folk, Jesus is God, and he's this white man, and he's your God. Okay, all right. Millions and millions of black people around the world believe this crap. Okay, they worship in a cracker with some blonde hair and blue eyes, saying that he's God and stuff. Right? It's the same thing with feminism. It's the same thing with LGBTQ. It's not that they have some fancy schmancy arguments. They don't. They really don't. Okay. And on top of that, the modern subjugation with Muslims, as I mentioned this before many times, in the West, is that your imams are not the imams in the traditional sense. Okay, the imams of your masjid are not the imams in the traditional sense, where they are the actual imam of the masjid, right? They are employees of the masjid. And as employees, they are required to not talk about specific subjects that will rock the boat between the masjid and your governments. One of those subjects is feminism. Another one of those subjects is LGBTQ stuff. You get it? Because if they do that, the masjid will get in trouble from the government. They're gonna lose their charitable status. They can't give out receipts for charity, and therefore the people cannot get their refundable donations back from the government, which will cut into the funds of their masjid. You understand the hustle now? Okay. That's called subjugation. The cure for that is actual Islamic knowledge, not red pill, okay? The cure for that is actually taking some traditional Islamic knowledge, like madrasas or whatever, classes or whatnot. You understand? The question is where are you going to find this Islamic knowledge? If you get your Islamic knowledge from YouTube, you're a damn fool. Sorry to say it like that. Sorry to be harsh like that. But if you think you're going to get Islamic knowledge from YouTube, you're an idiot. Okay? It's not going to happen. What's happening on YouTube is a damn disaster. Okay? That's not Islamic knowledge. What you see on YouTube are Muslim-looking people. Don't call me tech theory, but it's the truth. Muslim-looking people who will take alt-right talking points, present them to the Muslims as if it's Islamic. So you have the Pied Piper of the alt-right, like Daniel Hikachu, leading the people to alt-right talking points because the masajid are stifling their imams for telling you what you need to know about feminism, LGBT, these type of stuff, right? Furthermore, I say it all the time, the problem isn't so much feminism or LGBTs or liberal. It's not that. It's that the Muslims out here, they are participating in white supremacy. They're not trying to end it. So if you are the ones who are participating in it, then you reap what you sow. What did you think was going to happen? You thought the enemies of Allah was going to teach your kids right? Give me a damn break, man. Get a grip. Y'all came here as refugees from the same white supremacists who screwed your countries up to begin with. Then y'all come here after they mess up your countries under their liberal governments, and you accept and vote liberal every single time, and your kids go to these liberal schools, and then you're wondering why your kids have liberal ideas? Like, come on, man. Nobody's seeing the math here? Like, come on, man. Anybody stop me if they're not recognizing like what I'm saying here. Come on. So that's what it is. You know, feminism, if you break it down, feminism is an issue between the white woman and the white man. It is an issue of ownership of capital. We covered this before. I read from the book, They Were Her Property, right? Before there were prenuptial agreements, long before there were prenuptial agreements, where men wrote prenuptial agreements, white women were writing anuptial agreements. Why? Because most of y'all don't know, right? From the East. We in the West, we know because it's like some common knowledge for us. But y'all don't know is that when white Christian woman got married to a man, right? She became her property. But not just her, everything she owned became her property. That's why the woman takes the name of the man in the West. That's how that whole thing started. Okay? And what happened was when slavery was going on, white people were seeing so much wealth, and white women particularly were getting so much wealth. And what was the wealth? The wealth for white women was two things. Who knows what these two things are? Put it in the chat. Where are my intelligent black people at? What were these two things that white women were getting as wealth during the slave times? Somebody put it in. Exactly. They were his property. The women were his property. What were the two things that white women were getting as well during the slave times that went to her husband when she married them? Somebody put it in the chat. Come on. Where are the intelligent black people at? Thank you, Abu Bora. Thank you. Slaves and property. So when these white women were getting married to these white men, they had to give up their slaves and they had to give up their property. And when these white men squandered, because they were trying to make risky investments with their wives' property and their wives' slaves, these white women started saying, hell no. Hell to the nigga no. You're not taking my slaves. Especially the slaves. The slaves were the most liquid asset at that time. And white women owned 40% of all slaves. Thank you, Tika. Slaves and land. Slaves and property, slaves and land. So they went to the courts to get what was known as anuptial agreements, meaning that if by any reason that this marriage don't work out, I gets to keep my slaves in them and my property. You get it? That's how it all started. It started because of black folk. And then when the Civil War ended and black people started going to the polls, here comes the white woman again. Okay? One more time. And this is when the women's grievance movement started as a movement because of black people. Because white women were saying, these black people cannot vote before us. You get it? You white men cannot allow these black folks to vote before us. We want our rights. The women's grievance movement. And then eventually it moved into the feminism movement, and it really picked up steam in World War II. You know those pictures with the woman with the strong arm like that? Like that? It's because of that. Hello, Jello. That's feminism. So when you're talking about feminism, when you're talking about women's rights and stuff, what are these women always talking about? When you see these women in the WNBA and stuff, what are they asking for? Somebody put in the chat. The WNBA, what are they asking for? The Women's Soccer League, what are they asking for? Somebody put in the chat. What are they asking for? Somebody put in the chat. Every time you talk about feminism, women's rights, what are they really asking for? Somebody put in the chat, please. Thank you, Tika. Same pay. Same pay. Can you imagine? They want the same pay as men. But what are black women feminists saying? What's black feminism? What is it? What is black feminism? Is it this? Are black women asking for this? What is black feminism? Somebody put in the chat. Thank you, Tika. Again, black women are independent, strong, independent. They don't need no man. That's feminism, okay? If you want to break it down, that's it. It's only that. Muslims, by and large, they really don't have an issue with this unless you're black in the West. Then you have an issue with this. Okay? Nobody wanted to smoke today. I don't get it. I put out the link so many times. It's like, but I promise you they're going to leave some comments. Of course they will. Okay? But anyways, Jazakumullah khair. Thanks for everybody for joining me today. I'd like to thank everybody for participating. I want to thank the brother Josh. Jazakumullah khair for your generosity. Hayakumullah, may Allah reward you and bless it for you, multiply it for you 1,000-fold. All right? And let's see. Make dua for your brother. I'm doing some more courses, right? So that's why I've been kind of like light on the lives recently, because I'm just taking some courses and stuff. So, but Jazakumullah khair. May Allah reward you all. May Allah bless you all. Support the channel. Support me on Patreon. And subhanaka la bihamdik wa shada la ant wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
We are the Muslim wing of the Black grassroots. Unapologetic, strong, uncompromising voices that have been in the faces of the enemy and those who tap dance for them. The Feachaz is proud to present the archives exclusively on Patreon.